in the back. When asking a question, please raise your hand. Olivia will come to you with the microphone, and then all these press conferences are being streamed live on UNHWildcats.tv, so please just state your name and affiliation before asking your question. We'll start with an opening comment from head coach, then we'll take questions for the student athletes, we'll dismiss them, and then we'll take questions for the head coach. So we have 4th seeded Yale University here. 17th ranked Yale ends its season at 18-10-5 with a 3-2 overtime loss against top seeded BU in today's Northeast Regional semifinal. Yale was making its 7th NCAA tournament appearance, including its 5th in the last 7 years. We have head coach Keith Allain and senior forward Trent Ruffalo. Coach, if you could start us off with an opening comment.
Yeah, I thought it was a hard-fought game. I think BU is a very good team, well coached, and I wish them luck going forward in the tournament.
Thanks, Coach. Questions for the student athlete?
Trent, Dave Hendrickson with U.S. College Hockey Online. Did you feel after the second period that with a 1-0 lead and a low-scoring game that was the style that you guys wanted to play against BU, and then what changed?
Well, I guess the first part of that, yeah. Our goal was to go ahead and get the first goal of the game. That was definitely our mission. I don't think anything changed on our end. I think they may have picked up the tempo a little bit, and I thought it was a pretty evenly matched game, especially towards the end there. So.
Thank you. John Powers, Boston Globe for Trent. After you guys had killed off the penalty that went into overtime, did you think that you might have a decent chance here? I mean, given the fact that you had a bunch of guys who had done this in overtime in earlier year.
Yeah, I mean, we looked to gain momentum off of that kill. Our goal was, going into overtime, just take care of that kill first, and then we'll get back to our game. So.
Trent, Eric Dobrats, WTNH. What will you remember about this group of seniors that you play with? How special they are to you?
I don't know if I can explain that. I mean, my classmates are some of my best friends at school. It's definitely hard to go out like this, but I think that's what makes it special. We are such a close class, and definitely miss them.
Trent, the pace in the first period was pretty ridiculous, and you guys were back checking your butts off. Did that effort that you put out in that first period come back to maybe bite you in the end of the third and into overtime?
I disagree with that. I don't think that we hold back at all. I think that's exactly the style of play that that Yale hockey should be associated with. I don't think that bit us in the butt at all. That's just how we play. So.
Josh Stephen, College Hockey News. Trent, talk about, the last 2 weeks have been kind of interesting. How did it feel? It seemed like the same exact goal, really, that kind of eliminated you twice, but how much of a battling team was this?
I guess that's pretty much our character all year long. We fought, I don't know how many close games we've had this year, but I feel like that's our identity as a team. We fight to the very end. It's unfortunate that it had to end the way it did. So.
More questions for Trent? All right, thank you. Questions for Coach Allain?
Scott Weiger, U.S. College Hockey Online. Coach, you really went toe-to-toe with BU for the couple periods with shots, and then it seemed like the last period and a half they started to get a little bit of an upper hand. Was it just a difficult thing to hold them back, or what changed, do you think, in the third period and going into overtime?
Well, I think that last period and a half, I think they had 3 power plays, and I think the shot total could run up on the power plays.
Dave Hendrickson, U.S. College Hockey Online. I'll ask you the same question I asked Trent. Did you feel after 2 periods that kind of a low-scoring game with a 1-goal lead was exactly where you wanted to be?
No, exactly where I wanted to be. It would have been up 4-0 after 2. But I think it was the kind of game we thought it would be. I think we felt it would be to our advantage if they were chasing us rather than us chasing them. But it was not exactly where I wanted to be.
Chris Mason, Boston Herald. First time going up against Jack Eichel. What were your impressions of his game today?
Well, we went up against a great BU team, first of all. But I think Jack's a terrific player. He's probably the best player in college hockey this year. He's only a freshman. And I think he's got a really, really bright future ahead of him.
More questions for Coach Lane?
This was a very consistent team all year. What are your thoughts on this team? Because it's been very consistent all year.
Yeah, I think this team has overachieved, and I think I agree with you that they have been consistent in their game performances, and it's really because of their consistency in their day-to-day approach. I can't think of 2 practices in the last 6 months where I wasn't happy with the effort they gave, or the energy they brought, or the mental preparation they brought to practice. And I think that when you're practice like that on a daily basis, you can expect to be consistent on the weekends, and that's what this group was. Just me and you.
Yeah, that's so. How proud are you that they came out here today? After the 2 weeks that they've had, that was a rough 2 weeks. Given you thought you were eliminated, and here you are.
Yeah, I mean, I've been proud of this group all year long. I mean, that Harvard series was a heck of a series, and we ended up losing that in overtime. But I was extremely proud of my team after that series, and I guess I'm not thinking about pride right now because this is what I expect from this group. This is what they are. This is what they do, and so they're just being themselves.
Keith, Mike Anthony from the Hartford Current. It seemed like you created a lot of scoring opportunities, particularly in the first half of the game, by creating turnovers. Was that something you thought you'd be able to succeed with and thought might be key in this game?
Well, I think it's what we try to do on a game-to-game basis. I think we consider ourselves a strong forechecking team, and we like to apply pressure on the puck all over the ice. And if you do that effectively, not just with one guy, but with all 5 guys kind of acting in concert, then you'll create turnovers.
Any other questions for Coach Elaine?
How surprised were you by the penalty call with 10 seconds remaining, Keith?
I don't have any problems with the officiating out there tonight. If that's your question.
Any last questions for Coach Lane? All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.